Hi, you guys. Welcome back to an all new episode of Black Girl Can't Cook on body image, cooking, and self love. Y'all, today I am joined with an author, an entrepreneur, and a gorgeous, gorgeous Black woman, Tara Hayes. Woo, woo, woo. Hi,
Hi,
Tara.
Hi, Brianna. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm so happy to see you. How are you doing? Happy Thursday.
I'm doing great. Happy Thursday. I'm just, ready and excited for our discussion.
Our discussion. Tara, please introduce yourself to my audience. I did tell them you're an author, but tell us about some of your background.
Okay, so I'm Tara. I'm a mental health author, mental health mentor. So I started my journey as an author because I had my own problems with panic that I had to overcome. So I wrote my book to kind of document my journey and my experience with anxiety in hopes of sharing it with someone else and inspiring someone else to let them know that you can get through it basically. Like you can get from your problems with panic and you can turn your panic into power, which is what I'm doing with my business basically.
Oh my God. Wait, panic to power. That is so incredible and so beautiful. And so what would you say for listeners that what is like anxiety and where does that come from? Because I was DMing you about it. I've heard a lot, mostly a lot of my Caucasian white friends and a few
Mm-hmm.
black friends, but a lot of people they do get it. Anxiety of any form. So what is anxiety and where does it come from?
I would say most anxiety is from overthinking and negative thoughts. Over the years, like I've had it since I remember my first panic attack in like 9 years old. I had no idea what it was. So I actually wrote about that in my book. I'm just going to name it Panic to Picnic,
Perfect.
how to find your own personal path to peace of mind.
Uh,
So my first experience when I was 9 years old, I was sitting in church and then I just felt this feeling come over me. And I had like a a weird way of dealing with it. I would put my finger in the corner of my eye and start going like that. And
mhm,
then it left me. Like it was that moment during that period. So it was situational for me. So it
mhm,
was that moment. And then when I left, I didn't think about it anymore. But then as I got older, it was consistent. It was
mhm.
consistent negative thinking, negative thoughts. What ifs, that's what anxiety is. What if this happens? You're anticipating the future, you're predicting basically a negative spiral. So that's my experience with anxiety. And I think most people experience that overthinking and overcritical of yourself. And also, I think part of my anxiety was low self esteem. So by not having confidence, I didn't believe in myself to do anything. So I think that's where a lot of my anxiety stemmed from.
Yeah, and thank you so much for sharing that in your story. It's so, yeah, I truly believe that's why I have this podcast. We're here to tell our stories and to help one another and try to come together because these limitations and things that we suffer from, they don't have to have power over us and control our
Right.
life. We
Right.
can overcome them and we can be who we're supposed to be, especially as Black women. But thank you for the explanation and the expansion on anxiety too, because wouldn't think of myself of an anxious person, but then
Right.
no, 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 no. I currently do kind of live in the future and well, what if this and what if that?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I was younger, had kind of when I learned and found out about death, I thought, oh my God, one day my parents are gonna die. I'm like, what if
Right.
that's tomorrow? What if this? I have this I'm so death. I had a bad fixation on death and dying when I was younger because I was just so anxious about it. And so
Mm-hmm.
anxious about it taking like my parents who I loved and it could just happen whenever, da 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 da. I mean, that still in a sense lives in some people today and me a little, but I just try to embrace life more
Exactly.
because I know death is inevitable and it's a
Yeah,
part
it
of
is.
and it's a part of life. So I just try to even more so like lean in and dive into life and that sort of stuff. But I will tell you this, I went out last weekend on like my first party, first anything since COVID and
Okay.
I did get like some social anxiety before going out and
Uh-huh.
I kind of spiraled. I was like, well, I don't want to go out. What if they don't like me? What if I don't have anything to say? I have to be with
Mm-hmm.
people, then large groups of people, then we're going to be drinking. But like, oh my God, I literally like wiped myself out, like took a cat nap, like crashed. And then
Mm-hmm.
like after an hour, I woke up and the feeling still lingered, but I just like put on my best outfit that was going to make me feel comfortable and confident. And I just said, well, hey, just go for an hour. And if it's really all the worst things you think, you can literally leave in 30 minutes, say hi, like da da da. But that was my first little bout of social anxiety too, because I have a lot of friends who experience social anxiety and that sort
Mm-hmm.
of limitations where they don't know how to get help or how to reach for help because they're just so in the spiral.
Exactly. Yeah, the spiral is the worst. Not only did I have like social anxiety, I'm an introvert as well. So
Yeah.
I thought that they go together, but there are introverts that don't have anxiety, and there are extroverts that don't that have anxiety. So I would think that because I was introverted, and so to myself that's why I had anxiety. But I do remember like my first experience with social anxiety was like I think it was in middle school. Me and my sister both went to a dance in middle school, and we both, well, I was the one trying to get her to go, and she was like, "Oh no, I'm not going." So yeah, so we went in that, like we got in a car with my mom, and then we got to, it was in the cafeteria of our middle school. So we got there, and then we were both like, "Oh, we're not going out there. We're not dancing. We're not doing anything." Like we sit on the wall.
Right.
So, and I would see like all my friends out having fun, and I'm like just standing there holding up this wall. And then I remember seeing another girl holding the wall too. We were just looking at each other. And then finally I got out on the floor, but it was very robotic, very uncomfortable. So that's when I knew I had social anxiety. And that was the only experience in, besides going to prom. Like I didn't go into any events, like any school events. Like I remember going to one basketball game in high school, and that's it. So
That's
like,
it.
yeah. So like I was really like victimized like by my anxiety. And I didn't realize that I had power over it until later on. So
Of course, of course. And you know, those settings, to my listeners, like if you're younger, those settings are overwhelming. I remember like the high school football game, the basketball, any type, that's so overwhelming. And then
Mhm.
shit, yeah, you throw in like high school and the patriarchy and all that stuff. It's so overwhelming. And that's so good. Like you brought the power back to yourself that you could control it or kind of get a grasp on it so it wouldn't control your life.
Yes, yes, because it was really like for a while it was controlling my life. All I did was go to work and go home, and
Yeah.
as soon as I got off work, I would lay on the couch and just be in a panic and watch
Yeah, right.
TV. And it was like, and in my mind I would think of my mind like just going down a black hole. Like I would call my mom. It's like I'm just in a black hole. I don't know how to get out. So it was like desperation, hopelessness. And
Yeah.
once I realized that I wasn't hopeless, I wasn't helpless, that's when things turned around for me.
Oh my gosh. And so what were some of the few steps that you took to get out of that or to find the strength within? And then also a question, what made you one, you so inspire me. You're an author. Oh my, like oh, bow down queen. Like how did you get the just to like write a book? Because
so
yeah.
so what happened was I was actually laid off from my job. So I lost two jobs. It was two accounting jobs. I went for the wrong reason. So I went because I saw what my uncle had, and I wanted his house basically.
Yes, you're like that. That's it.
So I had gotten laid off from two jobs, and I was like, all right. The fear was I would go into another job and get laid off again. So I
Of
was like, you
course.
need to take a step back and figure out who you are and what you want to do. So I ran across like a publishing course, and I was like, okay, let me see what I could do, and let me write about something that's that's dear to me, that's close to me. Like I started writing things that I like. I wrote meditation, I wrote anxiety, I wrote just topics that I thought I could elaborate on. And I was like, all right, anxiety's been with me for my whole life. I better just go ahead and write about it. So that's exactly what I did. So, and then after I wrote the book, I was scared to tell anybody, honestly.
Well, no, and I have so many friends. Like my girlfriend didn't even tell me us she was writing a book because it's so like, because it's whatever. It's judgment on yourself, judgment of others. You could start, then not. I get
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I get the hesitation, and it's kind of nice to have your own treasure until you feel ready to put it out there.
Right, right. So what I was doing, I was on Facebook. I was posting in author groups. I was like, okay, we're all authors together, so we can all just post. They won't judge me because they're
Yeah.
doing the same thing that I'm doing.
Also, listeners, Facebook groups so underrated, so
Mhm.
underrated. That is where you can find community, build community, and the people there are just so y'all. Facebook groups, get on that.
Yeah, so I was in the author groups. I was like, okay, I could start here. I could start because we're all doing the same thing. We're all
Exactly.
authors. But the thing is, by us all being authors, there was no community, no support in there, because it wasn't like an author supporting author. It was like, get my thing, you get my thing. So I
Mm.
stopped posting in there because I was
Yeah,
like, I was
yeah. You're like, this is what is not going to happen.
yes, I was like, all right. So after I got comfortable with posting in the author groups, and I was like, all right, I got to tell my profile. I was like, I just got to do it. And I was like, I had so much anxiety about it. I was like, people are going to judge me. They're going to think who she is and who she thinks she is. She wrote a book. Nobody cares. So I went through all this stuff mentally. I was like, you know what? Just fucking do it. So
Let's do it.
yeah. So then I posted about it on my author page, and I got some good reception, some not. So, and then after that, I decided I was going to become a life coach. And I was like, you know what? I don't really want to call myself a life coach. So then I started to call myself like an authority, or in the mental health space, basically. Yeah. So I've been just growing and developing from there, and I've just like, this is the year when I'm getting out of my comfort zone, like doing more reels videos and everything. Yeah. So I was like doing just post and like, just post to me and whatever. And I'm like, all right, I'm just trying to engage more people. I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone. So that's when I started doing like the reels.
Amazing. Truly. And two, I know I don't have to tell you the statistics, but especially for Black women, anxiety, mental health, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, like we really run high in those numbers. So it's just so great to see another successful Black woman just writing a book. And that's how I felt about my podcast. I was kind of like, I feel like we always just want to like put something out and it be a success. Like, boom, did it. But like, I think Oprah started her television show and like, it was not the hottest thing. Ratings were shit for like a decade. Like, you have to just start. And I love what you said too, just putting yourself out of your comfort zone. Like the magic really happens when you're on the other side and when you're kind of and doing things you love. And that's so great that you were able to take something that affected you and just write a book about it and really help to inspire and uplift women. And two, I love the journey of your work and like how the laid off, but then you had so great and so instrumental in hearing that too. Cause as entrepreneurs, as artists, it's like such a,
it's definitely up and down. It definitely is.
So up and down. And no one's path looks alike. No one. So I think I've gotten better with the whole comparison thing. It's like non-existent, but still like I have to be happy and excited for my peers who do it and make it and whatever. Cause that just shows me, okay, well, the universe will come to me then too. Like if it can be done for her, it can be done for me. So it's like more inspiration, more motivation. So like congrats on that book. And we'll link it down in the show notes. Cause listeners, you guys have to look at it, check it out, and definitely read it.
Okay, great. And I actually it took me to start doing my own thing, like to start this entrepreneurial journey, this self-love, self-care journey, to actually support other people. Like I have a twin sister, and I just
God. Yeah. Twin sister. When were you guys born? What's your zodiac sign?
We're Aquarius. Aquarius with a Scorpio moon.
Girl, we and you, we have to go out and double Aquarius, moon and rising, and I'm a Scorpio sun. So I'm me and I love me. And I think the Aquariusness has like, I've always like been the beat to my own drum, my own person. And like, wait, so what was that like growing up with a twin sister?
We were like frenemies kind of. Like, I love my sister, but like, we just didn't tell each other we love each other. Like we were each other's comfort, each other's, like leg, like when I couldn't stand on one thing, she stood for me. Or like, even when we would go out, like she was a little more social than me. So she would like answer the question. Like if somebody was asking us questions, she would speak for both of us.
I love it.
Yeah, which gets kind of, we need to stand on our own 2 feet. So like, cause I was like too dependent on her. So I think like growing up, I had like a dependency issue on her, on my parents. So it's kind of hard to kind of, come into Tara. And then like with this journey, like I've been coming more into my own. Like it's not Tara and Therese. Her name is Therese. It's just Tara.
It's just Tara. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And what a great journey like it is to find your own, like literally to find your own. And listeners, I really emphasize it's so scary and it's so frightening. I'm not going to say all the time, but shit, like 92% of the time you're like out on your own and you're finding what makes you unique. What are you passionate about? What's going to drive you? And that separation can be like hard sometimes and scary, but it's the best. You have yourself, you get to build yourself and you get to create, the life you want for yourself ultimately.
Exactly. And it's crazy because me and my sister, like we both went to school for accounting. We had all the classes together. We had all the same job, and then they separated us at work and we were like, oh, we can't be separated,
Yeah, right. Like, no, this is not, not here. No, I
Yeah,
believe
it was
it. Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, and then like we lived together until we were 31. We lived together,
Mhm.
and then it was just like she was always there. But
Yeah.
now she has a baby now. I don't have any children, so I
Mhm.
think that like the kid. I mean, my niece brought us closer together too. So
Good. Yeah,
yeah,
and of course, is it a boy or girl? The
it's
niece.
it's
The
a girl.
niece, girl.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, so then
yeah.
of course, yeah, yeah. And then two. I mean, oh, I hope to have like 8 twins one day. But like that, no, that bond must just always be so special. Like, and to have someone through your span of a lifetime. Oh my God, there's nothing like that. And
Yeah.
that's. I'm so glad to hear that the niece brought you guys all closer. And what a great
Yeah,
story.
because we used to be, like I said, we were frenemies, like we were
Yeah.
always there together, but we didn't support each other. So now that I'm doing my own like, self-care, self-love journey, I've learned that, you have to be supportive of people, because it's a lonely road, like, and I love what you do. I love like that's why I love Instagram because I can see all the businesses grow and everything. And I'm like, I'm for them, but before when I wasn't doing that, when I was a hater, I was a hater.
Girl, you ain't gotta tell me to score. Yes, hey, on the hater Gatorade, drink, and I'd be one of those like with like loathe hate. So I'd fucking hate watching them, but I'd love it because I'm like, because and they say jealousy or whatever. Like it's like it's asking you, or it's jealousy, envy is saying, oh, you can do this too, but maybe you could even
Mhm.
do it better. It's just something that's like trying to like inch you in. And I love that you had to learn about it because I did too. I used to be so jealous, so never bitter, but like maybe jealous and envy. And once I started just like pouring in the aspiration and love, because then I was like, well, I have a podcast, I have a business, and I
Mhm.
only want that good energy, which was not impossible to always have. But so
Yeah.
I'm gonna also put out good energy, good support. I was so happy to find you on Instagram
Mhm.
and that like kind of energy and stuff. It's just connecting and it like helps you just
Right.
flow and it helps abundance flow. I feel like, I mean, I think about to when I was on the hateration and just
Mhm.
not a lot was happening in my life and I was,
Exactly.
unsatisfied.
Exactly. Yeah, it like that envious feeling, like whenever it rises, I'm like, I don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want that envious feeling, that negative feeling, because it doesn't serve me. So I just want to let it go.
Absolutely. It's like, wait, I'm not fucking 13, like on the volleyball court, like trying to, I'm like on some grown woman shit. And I want to be supportive and uplifting to like everyone I come into contact to. Cause I feel like
Exactly.
that's where real growth happens. And then too, like I live in New York City.
Hmm.
You never know who you're going to meet and talk to. So like, I don't want to be
Exactly.
taught, hello, this man or that woman might be giving me my next job or my next promotion
Exactly.
or I always want to like lead with love and kindness and just hope and pray that's reciprocated back and not even hope and pray. It's always reciprocated back when I'm leading that love and kindness type of life.
Right, right, right. I'm just so like you said, like when I was a hater, I didn't have anything going for me. I would go to work and come home and that's it. And then I was like, if anybody tried to do like a business, wasn't supportive. I was like, oh, like who they think they are,
Yeah.
now. But now I'm like, anybody, truly believe that if you work for it, like anybody could do whatever they want to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And before we transition, Tara, what would you say to my listeners that are suffering with anxiety, especially because, oh my God, the year that we're coming out of, and
Mm-hmm.
now just like it's going to be fall. Oh my, we're going to be going into 2 years of this global pandemic, which is
Exactly.
so batshit crazy to me. But how what would maybe one or two advice tips that you could give to my listeners who are just feeling anxious after having a year of anxiety? Because I mean, just
Yeah.
what?
I would tell them that you have a choice. Um, you could choose to be happy or you could choose to be sad. I know it doesn't seem like it when you're in the thick of it because I didn't think I had a choice either. But when you start working on your mindset, when you start reprogramming your mind, actually telling yourself, I am happy, actually doing the things that are making you happy, you have a choice. A lot of people don't believe that, oh, I'm just anxious, but as long as like what else can you be? If you're telling yourself you're anxious, what else can you be?
Hello.
So exactly.
Yeah. And
So
I
your
felt
mind's gonna believe that. So
completely.
yeah, so you have a choice. You can choose happiness or you can choose to be a victim. You can choose to be a victim or make your anxiety the victim. So
Ooh, listeners, or you can make your anxiety a victim. Tweet. Yes. Yes. And two, I will just add on that because we're really big on the podcast, like inner child healing and shadow work. And like you said, listeners, just reprogramming your brain and your thoughts. But I suffer from like bipolar 2. And
Mhm.
even in the last year when I stopped being like, oh my gosh, I'm so manic. I'm in a manic episode. Like
Mhm.
I stopped having those manic episodes.
Exactly.
It's literally like, oh, like I can't be like saying this thing that's happening and then it like not happen. Of course it's gonna happen.
Exactly.
Of course, then I'm gonna stay in my bed, windows shut, blinds closed for 3 days because I'm manic. No, cut the diet. I now try to go with, well, I'm feeling a little manic about this situation. I try to be more descriptive in how we can then change it. But oh no, language is everything, listeners, and how you speak
Exactly.
to yourself. And it's really too, Tara, wouldn't you say the power of the mind? Like just as
Yes.
smart as our brains are and our minds are to like talk down and to talk shit to you, they're just as smart as to be uplifting and
Exactly.
loving and
Exactly.
supportive. So it's really just, I love what you said. You can choose, and either you're a victim or I love that. I love that. I love that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Once you stop victimizing, once you stop feeling like a victim, you're not hopeless anymore. You're able to overcome that anxiety.
Easily, easily. So, Tara, this podcast is on body image, cooking, and self love. And where are you from? Where did you grow up?
I'm from Pensacola, New Jersey. So I know no most people never heard of it. No,
Never.
it's yeah, it's a suburb of Philly. So
Oh,
yeah.
great.
I
Great,
was
great,
actually
great.
born in Philly, but raised in Pensacola, New Jersey.
Oh, great, great, great. Well, East Coast, so either way. What was it like growing up for you? And yeah, what was it like growing and you're a twin. So what was all that like?
Growing up, I would say I had a decent childhood. But now that I do look back, I'm like, there's things I was missing. Like, of course, like, the Black Pride, it wasn't really enforced in me.
Yeah.
What else? My poor mom, she gets the brunt of it every day. I'm like, Mom, you didn't do this, you didn't do
Same.
that. but my mom did the best that she could. She nurtured me, but just the confidence wasn't there. Like like Tara, you're amazing, Tara, that you're this, that, that wasn't there. So,
Mhm.
and like I've always been ambitious, but the push for it to be the best wasn't there because my mom and my dad are both realists.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
even maybe on this podcast right now, that doesn't mean anything to them,
No,
so
right. I know.
so and
Yeah.
I've been like trying to prove to them, like, Dad, Mom, I'm capable of doing what I'm doing. I'm doing this for a reason. This is my purpose,
Yeah.
is what I'm doing. So um maybe they'll come around one day, but I would say, yeah, I had a decent childhood. I have two sisters actually. So I have a sister who's 2 years older than me.
Oh,
So,
great, great, great.
but I was kind of sheltered. I was sheltered and
Same,
yes.
same. I was so sheltered. And wait, no, just like you, I still will text my mom, be like, Mommy, how come you did not tell me about Black Wall Street and Malcolm X? Like, what is wrong?
Exactly.
But I really love what you said too, especially to our Black mothers, but to all mothers, like our moms and mothers do the best that they can, like truly,
Mhm,
wholeheartedly. I can't even imagine the task of bringing a child into the world, but
mhm,
they really just do the best that they can. And I agree. I was also sheltered. I grew up in a very predominantly white neighborhood, suburbs, upper middle class, affluent. And at least, my mom she did make it a thing to say, you are beautiful, you are gorgeous, you're tall and stuff. Cause I was just surrounded by whiteness, but
mhm,
I too did just lack the confidence in myself because I just didn't see it anywhere. And
mhm,
I didn't think that I had the ability or capable because, I wasn't Gabrielle Union with like, relaxed
mhm.
hair or something. So it was really growing up. That's what I kind of struggled with.
Right, right. And I think what I struggled with when I was growing up is I was like very, very skinny. So I remember I wanted to have a little weight on me. So I remember I was about, what was I? In like I think I was like third grade.
Uh-huh.
I started eating bugles. Do you remember bugles at all?
Yes,
Yeah, I was like,
yes, bugles. Oh my goodness.
I was like, because somebody has said to me, I said I like to eat. And they said, you like to eat, because just looking at me, you can tell. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go home and just start sucking my face, because I was too
Uh-huh.
skinny. So like with that, like I just wanted to, you know, feel more comfortable with myself. Like that's one
Yeah.
thing I wasn't happy with.
Absolutely. And two, I will say skinny shaming is such a thing too. Cause like
Mhm.
growing up, I mean, listen, you cannot help the body you're born into, but
Exactly.
even my girlfriends, I have an older brother that's just stick and bones. Like that is just the
Mhm.
DNA and that's okay. But I do get a sense of like bullies and stuff because I would see my skinny girlfriends like want to be bigger. And then they'd say, well, you should be happy you have boobs and at least you have hips. Like, because
Mhm.
they didn't have it. And isn't it so funny? Like, no matter what position, like you always, or we're conditioned to believe you always want what the other has. Like, you're
Exactly.
never okay with, like now I'm finally okay with it. But before it's like, wow, growing up, me and my girlfriends, we both wanted what each other had. Like there was no satisfaction.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Like,
And it takes time to just get out of it. Like it takes some time to like get out of that and reprogram your brain.
exactly. Yeah. And I'm like top heavy. And I was okay with that, like in high school, because like people were like, oh, like me and my sister, oh, those are the twins with the big boobs, you know?
Yeah.
So now it's like, and I have a small bottom, so I'm like,
Mhm.
I wish I had smaller boobs and,
Yeah.
and a bigger bottom. You know, you always want what you don't have, you know. So, but I'm shaped like my mom, basically. So
Gorgeous, gorgeous. And two, wait, isn't it crazy? Don't tell me your age, but like now to see the time in the culture, like now they want big lips. Now they want it's
exactly.
they listeners, it's even trend. I don't even know what it's called, but it's like a BBL or a BBM. Like this stuff is so mainstream.
Mhm,
And I'm shook to shit because oh no, growing up, these lips were not the thing. This
mhm.
ass was not the so it's such an interesting, I'm like, God, what's gonna happen in the next 20 years? But it's such an
Exactly.
interesting full circle. And now it's just I don't know. I love my white sisters out there, but I'm just like, oh, so you were kind of making fun of me in
Mhm.
fourth grade, but now you're at the salon getting
Get
injections
what you got, yeah.
every week. So, all right, but I'm like, boo, spend your coin where you want, but it's just, oh my gosh, it's so interesting. And listeners, love yourself. Your skin, your beauty is skin deep, and it's you. Tara, at what age
Exactly.
would you say that you like learned to like love your body? Was there like a moment or like an incident where it just kind of all like a light bulb went out? And that's still okay if you haven't learned that yet, but what was that like to like fully be in acceptance and love for your body?
So, like I said, I was very skinny. And then I went to a point, like after high school, I guess I got like the college 20.
Yes.
So,
Oh, yes.
so I gained about, I was 128 in high school. So the heaviest I was like close to 160. So for my little
Mhm.
frame, that's heavy for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it wasn't until I started working out consistently, I think, where I started learning to really accept myself and love, what I have. Like I'm still working on it. Like I still look at myself, like my belly. I'm like,
Of
oh,
course.
this belly ain't going nowhere. And I'm like, I'm just gonna keep working on it. And like at first I would be in the mirror. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm doing all this. Like I've been working out consistently for about a year, like every day. I don't
Great.
miss a day, Like I'm somebody who hated working out. Like like I would try throughout the years and just would never stick with it.
Never stick with
So
it.
so since I started like this journey, like it was called the race to recovery before. The race to recovery. Like
Oh,
I would jog every day. So I was like, all right, if I'm on the race to recovery, I have to do it every day if I want people to join me on the race. So I have to do it every day.
yes.
So that's where the working out every day came from. And then I just started feeling accomplished and motivated by it. And I started, loving, working out. And like I just don't feel like myself if I don't work out. Even if I'm not feeling good, even if I don't sleep the night before, I'll do yoga. I'll do something. I gotta
Uh,
do something.
and no, I mean, and what have you seen the balance? I try to tell listeners this, like mental health wise too. Isn't it like, how do you feel?
Exactly. I feel great. I feel great that I exercise because I was actually on medication for 15 years. So I had to
Mhm.
replace, the medication with something, so that
Really?
and exercise is, exercise mindset. That's what I do. That's my routine, And if I didn't
Yeah.
do that, I'd probably be bad shit crazy.
No, sis, I'm like, if I did not run and maybe just have like a tad bit of marijuana, I would be like locked up in the pen. And that's okay because there's some people who are happily locked up in there with the straight jacket.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. I too was on medication. I was on medication for like ADHD. It was Adderall. It was like 60 milligrams XR extended release. And I was like on this heavy cocktail from like 7 to 19. So like me and medication, I just have a really toxic, bad relationship with it and just
Mhm.
experience. Like I know, and listeners too, there's no shame around medication. Some
Mhm.
people need it and it helps them function and they take it. Like that is so great. And if you need those resources, please like go see your doctor. But
Right.
just for me and the type of person I am, and I have definitely an addictive personality
Mhm.
and all that stuff. Coming into my 20s, I had to find exercise because I was out of
Right.
college, out of the sports, out of high school, and I started doing bar class. And then when global pandemic, everything shut down. I just had to start running. I was like, running, it
Mhm.
does enough where it like leaves me tired, but I'm such an energetic go, go, go person. Like it just
Mhm.
turns the notch down a little and I'm able just to kind of focus, streamline. And yeah, I do it every day. And it's the difference. It's like night and day. Like
Mhm.
I even told my Instagram, like, wow, when I finish a run, it just nothing is even in comparison. Like,
It just feels great. It just feel like to be like, to get that good sweat into, and it just feels like I've done what I need to do for the day,
and it's like
basically.
a yeah, and it's like a mental clarity. I don't know about you, but I get a lot of like my best downloads, a lot of my inspiration, my things when
Mhm.
I'm running, and it's just clear. It's so, so good.
You know
And
what? That makes sense because this morning I was well, I've been working out. I've been doing in-house, in the house on the
of
TV.
course. Hmm.
It's called Fitness Blender. I've been following.
Hmm.
So um I was in the middle of my workout. I had to pause. I was like, wait, I got an idea. I gotta I gotta
Yes.
go ahead and write that down.
Yes, it is such a because then listeners think you're not distracted by your phone. You are totally in the workout. You God, because our attention span nowadays is like nothing. So I love like after like mild or even like 20 minutes into a run, I'm like, oh, this and like I'll stop, put in my notes, do a voice
Mhm.
memo. But yeah, a lot of great thoughts and a lot of things come from exercise and endorphins.
Exactly.
And two, I really want you like my focus, my platform. I really want us, our people, black people to start moving. Just I'm just here like just to move, even if that's a walk to your
Exactly.
mailbox, you know. My grandparents are at the age where they're like getting old and
Mhm.
even like my dad, it's just really sad like when we don't take care of our bodies and we
Right.
don't to just take care because I think life expectancy now should be like 190 but for
Should
our
be.
it should be but for our community and stuff that are just predisposition no one's at fault like it just falls so short and I figure too I'm like hey if I can start taking care of my health right now at 26 oh shit we'll be 56 we'll be 90 and we'll be okay like I'll have
Exactly.
the blueprint kind of down, you know?
Exactly. And that's just why I started taking care of my health too, because we're told that it's genetic. I mean, I know some people have some genetic, diseases, but I believe dis-ease is called dis-ease because something's wrong in the body, like you're not taking care of yourself. So that's why it's called dis-ease. And when you get your body back in homeostasis, you'll be fine.
Yes. Yes. And for so long, like, can you imagine, like, not to be for your body, not to be in homeostasis, like, just
Mhm.
be out of whack, but maybe out of whack, oh, your whole life, or maybe the last 10 years, or
Mhm.
listeners, the last year that we all had. So,
Mhm.
absolutely finding that way. I even kind of started a water challenge. I'm drinking a gallon of water a day. I'm like,
Okay.
all right. I'm like, I can't really afford my product. So, hey, what's the next big thing? Water. Water will
Exactly.
clean the gut, the skin. So, I'm going to do this thing and see at the end of August how I look and how I feel.
Okay.
And it's just so good. I'm happy that you're out here exercising and I love that you promote that and put that out there. It's really good. And to just even movement. I try not to be so hard on the exercise because I
Mhm.
don't want to force or but just movement, move your body.
Yeah, like even like light housework. Like if you're getting up doing that, that's movement.
That is
So
movement.
yeah.
So I would say, Tara, what do you love most about your body? And can totally be a body part or what your body does for you. Cause here too on the podcast, we're big on body neutrality, like, not focusing on the outside, just focusing on like what your body can do. But what do you love most about your body?
I would say my hair. Like
Yes. Oh,
I've been
listeners,
yeah.
look, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
So yeah, I would say my hair. I've been well, I lost it for a little bit. Like it had gotten shorter. So then like my hair is like my thing. Like I love my hair. So
Yeah.
so when it started growing back, it's like I just have to, take care of it. It's just like well, I don't take care of it myself. I got a hairdresser, but it was like when my hair was shorter, it was like stressing me out. And I'm like, I can't do this, I just want the flow. So
You want the flow? Yes, yes. Oh my gosh. And so many of my black girlfriends, especially who did like the natural hair care journey,
Mhm.
it's stressful. And then and then listeners, and then even for me, I was on the creamy crack for like 12 years before the pandemic. And now I am all natural, but just love protective styles. Cause one,
Mhm.
I'm lazy. I'm a lazy bee. Until I have money, I can do my hair every other 3 days. I'm just so lazy and this really works.
Gotcha.
But even with the relaxer and stuff, I would
Mhm.
just be so stressed. It would only like get ever to like bobbish length, but I'd be like,
Mhm.
why isn't it grow? And then my hairstylist would be like, but you're putting all this stress and stuff. Your body can pick up on that. So your hair's
Exactly.
never gonna grow. So
Exactly.
so when she
Exactly.
then told me that, I just had to kind of like reprogram and just be grateful for my hair. But
Exactly.
ultimately, the relaxer was not working. It just fried it too much. It could never get to the length I
Right.
wanted to, and that's okay. I learned that lesson, and
Mhm.
I love that the hair. That's so so beautiful.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I stopped being relaxers, I guess, about 12 years ago, I guess. Wait, 11 years ago, I
Bless
stopped
you.
getting it.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah, and then I
Hmm.
do love the protective styles though. Like I got this, I got a little add-in right here, but
Yeah.
this is mine in the back. But I love
Go
like
off.
like I used to wear like straight hair all the time, but I can't do that anymore because I'm working out, and that's
Exactly.
why a lot of Black women don't work out because of the straight hair.
I
You
think
know.
or maybe the weave too, because I don't think I could do the weave. All I know is that you can't sweat. Even I leave my relaxer, it'd be perm done. She'd be like, try not to sweat. But I'm like, I go to work out. But it just could never do. But protective styles are good. I love
Yeah.
your hat. Your hair's gorgeous. And two, the head I've been learning is the crown, and it's how
Mhm.
you carry yourself. And
Exactly.
I think that's so beautiful that you love your hair and your hair is gorgeous.
Yeah, and I think the next will be my smile, I guess.
Yes, smile. Go, yes. Oh my God. Aren't these girl? I was like interviewing all day today, and like the second one, I didn't take off my mask, but I was like, fuck, I mean, my energy was good, but I'm like, this smile,
Mhm.
it's like the money maker. That's when you
Exactly.
so the mask has been but no, gorgeous smile, beautiful teeth, straight teeth, Tara.
Thank you so
Perfect.
much. It's braces though. Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you.
So what are you cooking? Are you in the kitchen cooking? What inspires you to cook? And what kind of cocktail are you drinking? If you're out, if you're by yourself, and if you don't drink, is there like a mocktail that you like or prefer?
Gotcha. Now I'm not in the kitchen often. Like I honestly, I do like blend smoothies. Like I blend smoothies for myself and I blend for my dad as well.
Yes.
So, and when I do cook, like I do have something to make tonight. I don't know if I'll get to it. Like, so I'm a pescatarian, so I like making like salmon and broccoli. Like there's a maple
Yes.
glazed salmon I like to make. And tonight I was going to make like a rice and gravy with jackfruit. Do you know what jackfruit is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
jackfruit.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that was on the menu tonight. I don't know if I'll get to it, but that's but that's
Right.
what I
I
was.
know. You're like, it's like, it's about to be 8 or 7.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. So
great.
a mocktail. Let's see. I used to drink. I don't really drink anymore.
Mhm.
So
Same, not having it, not till fall, not.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
but when I was out there, I would say I would say
Yeah.
like I would say like tequila was like mine. Like I tried the vodka, but the vodka, I think it was just like a safe thing, like for me. I was like, oh, cranberry vodka, like everybody else got that. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, whatever. Or like and like the rum and coke wasn't bad. So I was like, all
It
right.
wasn't bad.
Yeah,
No.
so but it was like,
Dark liquors you have to be in the mood for. Like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
trying to turn.
Yeah, it was like I got like whatever my friends got. Like because when I got to the bar, I couldn't think of anything. I was like, what?
Right. Oh my God. And then too, like I was like just in California, like a country bar, and I'd be like saying something New York, like old fashioned or Cosmo, and they're like, "This is a bar, bitch. You want a Jack and Coke or a cup?" I'm like, "Okay, give me whatever. I don't, or just tomorrow. I don't know."
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
too
So
much.
I can't really think of any mocktails, but those are the cocktails that I used to drink. Like,
I love. And wait, what? I was on your blog page, listeners. I'll tag. She has a beautiful, great website. I just started a smoothie kick. What are some of your favorite smoothies? I think I saw a ginger pear that looked delicious.
yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. And I also like to do like a pineapple banana smoothie. And
Ooh.
I just go to the market and I get like the frozen pineapple, and then I'll get like a organic banana, and I'll put like I use almond milk, so I put almond milk in there, and
Amazing.
I put like a little a little immune booster like sea moss or something. I
Of
put,
course. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's so great. I'm gonna have to check that out.
yeah.
I love that. And what would you say something like, you talked about your mom and your sister earlier, but what would be something that like either of them taught you about your body and about, yourself? And, that could be good or bad. I've had some guests drag their mothers, but and I'm like, all right, let it out. But either way, we love moms on the podcast. We respect them. What's something that, she taught you growing up?
So my mom taught me that to basically accept what I have, like we're both the same, we have the big boobs and no booty. So like like and we argue like not argue, but we was like I'm like, Mom, you're better slayer than mine. It's,
Yeah,
like stuff
exactly.
like that. So she's like, well, it's what God gave you, so you can work on it. So that's why I'm in like hitting my squats and stuff,
Hello. Yes. Hello.
Yeah, so basically, and then she'll see me looking in the mirror, like at my belly, and she's like, well, Tara, you're doing good, just keep working on it. It's going to go away. So basically, so, or even, and I've been learning to accept where it is right now. Cause it's a journey. I'm not going to wake up and look like, a fitness model, I've been on it. I've been at it for a year. But it just takes some more time for some people. So maybe,
Absolutely.
and my body maybe needs like an adjustment to some of my exercises. I just don't know. But yeah, basically I'm accepting, my belly that I have now, so
Yeah, girl, we're coming out this panorama. Everyone's got a belly. Everyone's got a little cut. Like
Mhm.
mine's attached to me. And two, I'm just trying to figure like I am running, but I do know like I think you just kind of know when your body needs more. So like I know I'm gonna
Mhm.
like start to get on the squats or just start to get in like a toning type of muscle because
Mhm.
I feel good too when like I feel strong. Like a run is a run,
Mhm.
but I miss the workout classes and stuff because it was able to build muscle. And as women,
Right.
when you feel strong, you look strong, you exude
Exactly.
strong. And that's just the body. Isn't the body so interesting? Like how it
It
just
is.
and it can adapt, it can change. So I love that. Your mom sounds like she's so encouraging, which is so, so great to have.
Yeah, yeah. She has her moments, her encouraging moments. like like there's times when I still have my moments where I'm not feeling as positive, and she's like, "Oh, Tara, you're talking, you're talking positive all the time. You need to take what you're saying." I said, "I am taking what I'm saying. It's just I need a moment. I'm allowed to have a
Yeah,
moment." Like
absolutely.
before, I used to take real estate. Like I think Lisa Nichols said, I used to take real estate out in loneliness and depression, all that stuff. But now it's a moment, and I'm allowed to have that moment. So.
Woo, listeners, you are allowed to have that moment. And two, like, wouldn't you agree? We're allowed to process our feelings. Like,
Mhm.
I can, as much as I body positivity, oh my God, I can be sad a little that, like, oh, my arm still jiggles. Like, I can take
Mhm.
that moment to be sad and then maybe be like, all right, bitch, just let's start lifting. But I'm allowed to have that moment, that little moment myself. If it's with my partner, I can have that moment and like state what needs to be state. And two, it's just important knowing that like that's temporary. Like that's not
Exactly.
forever. This is a moment in time. This is our body in time. And what a great ability that we have the ability to adapt and change and to grow.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. So let me have my moment, Mom, if you're gonna listen to
Yeah.
this.
Like, mom, give me the moment. And what would you say is like the biggest lesson that you've learned from your body? We are coming out of, global pandemic, and you did start
Mhm.
your running thing. And what was it called? A force to, what did you say it was?
It was called the Race to Recovery.
The race to recovery, which I love,
Yeah.
love. You, girl, you really do inspire me. Like, I'm still afraid to like start like a challenge because like
Mhm.
I'm just worried it's only gonna be me, but I'm still like, I don't care if it's only me or one of that. That's just so inspiring and so, so great.
Wait,
So
so what kind of challenge did you want to start?
oh, I don't know. Like I wanted to do like the water thing with everyone, but then I was like, let
Okay.
me just make this a me thing. And then maybe if I see the results I like, okay, September 1st, get my community drinking water, da 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 da.
Okay.
But another challenge, just like to move your body. I don't know, just like some
Right.
type of movement, like every day. Just like
I would
make it a
definitely do
habit. Right. So
that.
I'll try to work on something, map it out. But you're really, really inspired me. I am blown away by you. But what was one of like the biggest lessons you learned from your body?
I learned that I have to give myself some rest. I can't just keep going and going and going. Like, I have a schedule that I follow. I do Sundays hit, Monday strength training, Tuesdays hit, Wednesdays rest, Thursdays strength training, Fridays cardio and strength training, and Saturdays rest. So if I had the myself, I mean, I would be going all the time. I would just keep going, going. Like I wouldn't have any rest days. Like my mom would say to me, Tara, you need to take a rest. I'm like, Mom, I'm just going to do an active rest. It's yoga. Like I have to do something. So I learned that um I need to let my body rest. Like I need to not go all the time. I need to take that yoga day. Like it's okay. It's okay to not hit the weights all the time. So I had to learn that.
Of
So
course, of course. Gore, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And two, just as Black women, hello, but as women, like we can rest. Like you
mhm.
can sit your ass down, even just close your eyes and like take a glass of water with lemon and just relax. And I too, just because like the world's kind of open again and like New York is going to be what it was, but I want to actively make rest, really rest and being mindful with my time of rest because we deserve rest. And two, I don't know about you, but I really feel like, well, shit, even my ancestors, like they weren't afforded the luxury of
Right.
just freedom in my life. So even more so, a pause, a break, a social media break, just resting is part of self-care and part of self-love.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I have to remember that like there's some days where um like I try to do a half hour a day. There's some days I used to do like 45 minutes, but there's some days I'm like, oh, you didn't do enough. Like today, because of my hair, like
Yeah.
unfortunately, I only did about 13 minutes today.
As
So
you
I was like,
should.
okay.
Yes, it looks good. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, Tara, it's all right. It's okay. You only did 13 minutes.
Yeah.
When my hair, like I give my hair like a week. I'm like, I get my hair done every 2 weeks. And then after a week, I'm like, okay, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna sweat it out.
Exactly. Because it's Friday, right? At the exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yes.
Exactly. So like I'm gonna sweat it out, but it's like, all right, you didn't get 30 minutes in today. You didn't get a sweat in today, but it's okay. You didn't get to do your like there's a circuit I like to do as well. Where it's like goblet squats and it's like
Oh.
burpees and all that stuff. I like to do that circuit. I haven't gotten to it, so I'm not beating myself up about that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
so
And two,
just
it's always
chill.
there tomorrow.
Yeah,
Listeners,
exactly.
it's always that soul cycle class, that run at the track, that other
Mhm.
it's always there tomorrow. And two, I've had to get out of the way of just punishing myself. Oh my God, even when I was like on vacation away, I'm like, I didn't think about it because I was just so in the present moment and happy. But there were definitely times like in early June, and I was home in Arizona, I would just get so mad. I'm like, you have not hiked, you have not done anything. But
Mhm.
I really needed that rest and that just break. Like my body needed that, and
Mhm.
it's so important to listen to those moments, I think, as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you we're gonna come to an end, and I've just love talking to you. But I have to ask, what does self-love mean to you? And are there any practices that you have, especially coming from like the background and you being a recovery of your anxiety? What self-care tips do you have? And ultimately, what does that mean to you?
So self-love to me is acceptance, of course, and actually taking time for yourself and being like being saying no and not feeling bad about it. So
Mm,
and just taking care of yourself. Um well, exercise is a part of my self-love.
yes.
Also like, the positive affirmations and reminding myself that I don't need validation from anybody. Like as far as like the Instagram and stuff, when I start getting caught up in likes and engagement and stuff, I'm like, Tara, I'm doing this for you. You're doing this for you.
Ding,
So
ding, 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 ding. Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
so like you're doing this for you. And also I think self-love is also like confidence, saying, I'm this, I'm beautiful, I'm capable of anything. When I start feeling like real anxiety, I go in the mirror and I'm like, Tara, you're amazing. Tara, you're this. Tara, I am, a
I am.
bad bitch, basically.
Yeah. I love. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And when we hang up, I will send you, there's a great Oprah podcast, Super Soul Sunday, with the white man preacher Joel Olstein. But in his, he's great. We love him. But in the talk that he says, like, you need to like speak it into your life. That's why I say, like,
Exactly.
I am a macho. My podcast is number one, like in my brain.
Exactly.
I am confident and
Mm-hmm.
just using that, listeners. And that's why I'm so big on like the affirmations. I like to do like a little naked body affirmation, but even just an affirmation to check in with yourself. It's so powerful. And that just reconnection back to self is
Mm-hmm.
unlike anything else. And Tara, thank you so much. I needed this word. No validation. No, that's I
Right.
because it's so easy. And listen, we're all motherfucking human. So if you were to say that you don't get caught up in this, no, just like the other night, I'm like engagement, this, that, and I'm all shaken.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm posting for myself and for my message and what I know my
Exactly.
purpose is, well, just like I'm sure you do. So then that really does take out all the noise, all the criticism. And I just reaffirms, okay, this is my path.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on it and no validation from anyone but yourself, truly.
Exactly. And I do love what you do. You're just so free. You're able to get on and do,
Mm.
everything and just express yourself. I'm learning to get out of my comfort zone and just not care and just post what I want. There's some
Yeah.
things like when I'm doing my reels video, admittedly, I look stupid in this. I'm gonna keep recording until I think I don't look stupid.
Of
Like
course. Yeah. Of course,
like
until
stuff
you get
like
the right
that.
cut that you like. No, absolutely.
Yeah. So I was like, I just wish because I'm kind of awkward. So like, I wish I could just one day I'm just gonna post an awkward video.
You are girl, embrace and listeners, embrace the awkwardness. I think too,
Yes.
and two, I think, okay, awkwardness, your uniqueness. It's
Mhm.
truly what makes you you and your beauty. And I know
Exactly.
people will say that too. I'm just so free spirit, blah, blah, blah. But I really think too, it's because I like enjoy myself and like I
Mhm.
genuinely love myself and my quirks. And girl, yeah, Reels is a whole other story, but you are, and it's Instagram. You're the director of your life. So if
Exactly.
you get comfortable until you, girl, do 8 takes. Like you should see me trying to do them all together every day. And two, it's just you're finding more of who you are, like a true self's core. And that's all you can
Exactly.
ask for, you know?
Exactly. And I just wanted to leave my acronym that I follow. Like
Yes,
I
no, no,
said,
we weren't done yet. I'll let you. No, I had one last question. If there was just one thing you could tell yourself, when you were, young about your body, about yourself, maybe about your anxiety, what's
mhm.
just one piece of advice that you would give yourself?
I would give myself about my body is that I look I look the way I look. I mean,
Yeah.
and if I don't like it, change it and just accept it until I can make
Yeah.
whatever change it is, basically.
See, and also like I don't shame any women and women that like go under the knife and stuff, but I just want like a certain reality. It's like to especially the young girls and the young children. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, so you don't like yourself in your body. Great, but you also have the power to change it. You don't have to
Exactly.
like go and get the Kardashian face or
Mhm.
this, that. No shade to anyone doing that, to each his own, but like you have the power to do it within you. Like you don't need any of that stuff. And I even remember Beyonce Vogue cover when she was pregnant, she like said like it wasn't until after she had her baby that she was like, holy shit, my body can do all this. Like she
Mhm.
can get it to however you want it. And that's just such a great message that needs to be heard and reiterated, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Like basically, and then sometimes I'm like, oh, my nose may look too big, stuff like that. But they're African features. I'm a black woman, so
They are okay. Wait, and this is how you. And I think I grew up around too many white people. I never heard the nose thing until I think it was like on like a BET show, but it was like a joke about Michael Jackson, and I was like, oh, and I asked my nana, she's like, no, we are known for having like wider nose
Mhm.
and this and that, and even the year of last year and having to learn about massage noir and all these things that affect our culture, it's mind boggling. And just, I mean, taking that power back. Oh, great. Wide nose. Lips good. Tits good. We good.
Exactly.
The nose will
Exactly.
have to be what it is. Like
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
taking those things, and then, hey, I mean, women, I feel like we're in such a society and culture of brainwashing and toxicity, white supremacist message
Mhm.
and media. So then
Mhm.
also like, no, to the girl who's so upset and you feel like your nose is the worst thing, then go get it done. If you think that's going to make you happy and fulfill you, sis,
Mhm.
go get 8 nose jobs. Like, I just want women in their power and in their total like authority, emotional, mentally, physically,
Mhm.
you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my nose is cute. I mean,
You're
it's fine.
gorgeous. I know. Oh my gosh. And wait, you said awkward quirkiness. Girl, you're an Aquarius. You got to embrace. That's just, you got, lean in. You got to. Wait, but I've loved talking to you, Tara. Where can all my listeners find you, follow you? And is there anything you want to promote?
So they can find me on Instagram. It's Tara Tara_Martina MARTINA_. And I also have an author page on Facebook. It's called Tara Hayes Author. And I have a Pinterest that ain't popping at all. Like I got like one follower.
Wait, oh, when we get off, I will do your Facebook and your girl. Wait, Pinterest is low key blowing up. Like, there's like place in there for creators and marketers. I like follow a top influencer. She just got to deal with Pinterest is low key trying to fucking on the come up. So I will follow you.
Okay, and I'll find you too. Yeah, and let's see. Well, I'm currently like in the middle of my total introvert income program. So I'm showing people who have a business idea or they're introverts. You don't have to be an introvert though, but I basically help women overcome worry, fear, and anxiety to regain control of their life. So if you have like that business idea that you're too afraid to start, you can start with me. I'll help you with
Yeah.
we'll start with your success mindset, getting you organized with what you need, what it takes to actually get your business going, social media marketing, I just really love all those things, and putting those
Incredible.
components in piece, in place for people who have a business idea and they're too afraid. I was afraid too, so but we just say fuck the fear and keep going. So
Listeners, fuck the fear. We say fuck the fear and keep it going. Oh my,
exactly,
I
yeah.
love that. I love that. And two listeners, I'll leave her book that you wrote and then your website page because there's fantastic testimonials. So like step in her DMs, reach out. You're just such a beautiful soul. And I'm so happy we were able to talk. And two,
Thank
just
you so
thank
much.
you for the work you're doing. It's so good just to see Black faces and Black people doing this because, you know, in
Exactly.
wellness, in the self-care industry, it's all great. It's all good. But like, I don't even like doing some yoga classes. I have to go on YouTube, Google Black yoga teacher, deep meditation,
Mhm.
because I just feel better when it's coming from someone that looks like me.
Exactly.
It's, oh my God, listeners, it's like a Black is King Beyonce. It's just this beautiful flow of energy. And the work you're doing is so, so important. And listeners, check her out. I know a lot of you have some anxiety problems and you have power, you have control. Let this be a
Yes, we do.
oh my God, she's done it. And it's just so, so
Exactly. Exactly. Everything you want is on the other side of fear, basically.
everything you want. Thank you so much, Tara. Listeners, I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.